All right, so I think, what did I do? I did something on this. Maybe it was a short or something, and I wanted to show you guys what I've been doing here at this house. So there was a hole in the ceiling up here, and I'm going to pause in a moment and show you. I did like a less than a minute that was going to be a short where I explained some technique. I'm going to insert that here in a moment, as well as some stills that are on the phone of this project leading up to the point where we're at right now. We're getting close to painting, and I'll talk about that as well. But there was the roof was leaking. So this whole hallway here, the ceiling was kind of falling in. The paint was peeling real bad, and I'll get into that with you in a minute. And then I found other cracks in the wall, and there's cracks all over. Back in the late 90s, when these people were moving into this house, I came in and I patched everything then. And the house moves all the time. So it's been over 25 years since I've done any of this. So it's time to kind of get back in here and do it again. And again, because of the leak, there was a big hole in the ceiling here that I had to deal with. And I wanted to get up on the ladder here and show you. This has been, I just put a third coat here. And you guys will see pictures of that as well. And that's pretty flat right now. And here's the ceiling. I want you to kind of see here. There's been 3 coats on this. It's perfect. It's perfect. You can't not tell. And even at the edges, it's feathered perfectly because, as the technique will explain, you know, it's all about keeping the blades as flat to the ceiling as possible and bending them correctly, you know, so you smooth that stuff out. And then you see here, there was a lot of divots in the ceiling that you saw in the other video. And so I've went ahead and coated all them. So when I go ahead and paint this now, it's going to appear to be a flatter ceiling. So it'll be much better looking. The trick I want to share with you, well, I'll get back to the trick in a minute. Let me show you, let me stop the video here and then start it up again. I don't have my thing on my mic. I hope this is good enough for you people. Let me insert some stuff. Don't go anywhere. Just a real quick one here. Just, you see how half of this is done? That's just the second coat. You can see how much smoother it's getting. That's a first coat. And you know, you start with the 5-inch blade for the first coat. I jump up to 7 to 8-inch for the second coat. And then I go over to a 12-inch for the third coat. And the key is always to keep the blade as flat to the work as possible. All right, when you shouldn't see the work when it's finished. That's the key. So if you see a lump where somebody did the patching, it's because they just didn't know. And that's the big thing. All these blades have a curve to them when you look at them. So you want to keep the blade as flat to the wall, and then you want to be able to put one end down, put the other end down, drag it across. But that's the key. Keep your blade flat. But after the second coat, it's already looking like it's almost done. Okay, so you saw that stuff here, and I'm just kind of showing you the ceiling a little bit more. There was a spot here where there was a patch of drywall, so I had to flatten out the hard corner where you could see the drywall. I put a couple screws in there, so that'll go away completely. This is where I had to put some tape. I'm going to go ahead and put a little more on this right now, and I think the other trick here is water and a sponge. So in lieu of sandpaper making a bunch of dust, if you take a sponge, wring it out pretty well, and just smooth out with the sponge, you feather it nicely and there's 0 dust. Plus, you're washing the ceiling at the same time, so you're getting all the grime off so the primer will stick. Let me take you in the other room here, the hallway. So when I was working on the ceiling here, one of the things we noticed was giant cracks here. It was horrendous, going all the way down this wall. Now right now there's only 2 coats on it, so you can still see the patch here. Today I'll get a third coat on and that'll pretty much disappear. It's hard to see in here because of the lighting. There's 2 big gouges in the wall. And again, you'll never know they were there when I'm done. But this will demonstrate what's going on. So Big vaulted ceiling. There are some cracks here that I am not messing with right now because they're too high and I don't want to turn this into a crazy job. But you can see here on this wall, back out a little bit here. Keep it tight. So when I'm done here, this is only one coat. All right, but when I'm done with this, you'll never know it happened. You guys have seen this room before. I built all the furniture in here. There's the cherry chair and ottoman. It's an Adirondack and Japanese and mission style. All these design aesthetics blended together with the ottoman, the floor lamps, coffee table, the sofa and love seat, fireplace mantle, entertainment console, picture frames. This is the room that Mike Z Design built, right? So even in here, I'm not touching this right now. Every room could be done. We're just not going to do that right now. We're just kind of getting the stuff up that I had to, mainly because of the roof leaks. But the thing I wanted to point out to you is when you do a patch like this, the big trick to, other than what I've already done and what you kind of saw in the pictures and what I talked about with the technique for the patching, is when you do the painting, okay, you want to prime and you want to paint. And you want to use a 3/4 inch nap roller, because the 3/4 inch nap roller is going to leave a paint texture. So that you do it with the primer, you do it again with a good quality paint. These days they have paint with a primer in it, which is nice. And when you're done rolling that, you will never see where the patches were. If you patch like I've done, and then you use a foam roller or a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch nap roller, you're likely going to see like shiny kind of spots where the patching was. So that's what you want to avoid. And when I paint this out, I'll give you guys a short on it real quick. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little update on this project, and there'll be more, next week probably, or at the end of this week. Have a great day. Be kind to one another. I'll catch you in the next one.